So how do I go about figuring out how much free space I have attached to my pods if I'm using persistent storage? Well, I can go ahead and list the PVCs that are in my namespace. Here it's called MongoDB test. But there's not a whole lot of data that's really super helpful. So I'm going to jump over to my cheat sheet and find a one-line command that's going to help. I'm going to type in the namespace I was in. I'm going to type in PVC. And I'm going to just select from the list of commands that are presented to me and find something helpful. This one happens to be called fetch the storage utilization for PVCs. I'm going to copy that command and we're going to paste that back into a terminal. Now this command is going to inspect all of the pods and return the free space as it's mounted inside of each one of those pods. So here we can see the pod name, the PVC name, the volume name, the container name, where it's mounted, and exactly how much free space there is left, which happens to be none. So what exactly did that ugly command do? Let's take a look. It's nothing more than a series of for loops where we go and fetch every pod inside of the namespace. We filter them out a little bit, looking for running pods. We then look inside of each one of those and we look at their configuration. We're looking for the volumes that are inside of there, and we're actually looking for a specific pattern called persistent volume claim and the claim name. So we generate a list of pods with persistent volume claims. From there, we actually figure out the volume name, how it's referenced inside of the pod. And while we're doing that, inside of that loop, we fetch where it's mounted and the container name that it's attached to. We take all that information, we write it out, and finally, we actually run a kubectl exec and we run a df-h against the specific mount path, which shows us exactly the information we want and none of the information we don't. That's it. That's all the command does. It's a little uglier in this sort of one-liner, but it's a very helpful series of for loops and multiple kubectl commands. And there we go. We've looked at how to identify how much free space is used in our PVCs. Check out docs.runwhen.com for your own custom cheat sheet.